Thanks for coming back to join me for another video. I hope you're doing awesome out there. If you've been following along with the other videos, then you know that I'm trying to tastefully restore and modify my dream R33 GT-R. So that is why today in this video, we are putting in a set of GReddy drop-in EZ264 cams and a set of ARP head studs. Let's dive in. If you've been following along with the previous build videos of this car, that you know we've already installed some really nice parts like the Tomei titanium exhaust, the twin disc clutch from Uniclutch, and the HKS GT2530 ball bearing turbos. In the last video, you saw that we buttoned up the install on the HKS GT2530 turbos. I loosely have the intakes installed here, but those are gonna have to come back out for some final little finishing touches, things that I need to do on the turbos over here. But also we are removing the valve covers in this video, obviously, to get to the cams and do the head studs as well. So even though it's extremely hot out here and I'm not necessarily excited about working on the car yet another day in the garage in the heat, I am really excited to get the cams and the head studs in here because it's one step closer to doing the mods that we're gonna do in the next video, which gets us one step closer to the mods in the video after that, which I'm really excited about. So hopefully you've enjoyed watching this series of videos and you're tuning in to see where we're going with this R33 GT-R, because I'm super stoked about it and I hope you are too. So let's dive in and get started on these cams and head studs. So as you can see, we are down to pulling the cam caps off and pulling the cams out. I don't know if you noticed this amazing specialty tool that I have right here. This is the Aaron Cam Gear Holder 3000. It's an invention that I've come up with from my years of being in the industry. It's highly sought after by manufacturers. I'm not going to give up the patented design. This is not a shitty knot. This is an incredible knot that is probably not coming undone. I'm going to have to cut it.
Over under if he has to cut it.
I've got one bolt holding each cam gear in. I've got some rubber tubing between the cam gears so they can't really slide in very much. And I've got the timing belt zip tied to the cam gears. I've used an entire Harbor Freight worth of zip ties for this procedure here, but basically I'm gonna pop the cam gears off this way, like walk them off as a pair, and just let the bungee cord keep constant upward tension on them, keeping the timing belt from falling off of the crank pulley down below. I currently have the engine at top dead center #1. So obviously after we do the cams and head studs and everything's back together, we'll rotate the motor around by hand, make sure everything lines back up, make sure we didn't have a belt slip before we fire it up for the first time, obviously. So, but anyways, that's kind of where we're at, and now we're moving forward. So I'm gonna pull these cam gears off and then we can start zipping off the cam caps. So now we've got tension on our timing belt, so that can't move, and we've got some room here to maneuver and get the cams out. So simple as that. That's your shade tree mechanic tip of the day. So obviously our cams are now removed, and it gave me a good chance to look at them, look at the cam journals in the head and look at the cam caps, make sure we don't have any abnormal wear or anything weird going on here, and everything looks really good. Because we are doing this on the car, I'm not separating the head from the block. We are doing each head stud one at a time. This is not something I've ever done this way on a car, but I know people who have done this. I've seen other people do this, and as long as we only do one at a time, we immediately torque it and then move on to the next one, we should be totally fine. You may be asking yourself, why don't you just take the head off and put a head gasket on there as well? And that is a valid point. It would be definitely smarter to pull the head off, put a nice head gasket on it. The only problem with that is there's just more time and money and things involved in doing that. And the biggest weak link, I would say, for the power level that I want to be at with this particular car and this engine, the RB, is the head studs. They have a tendency, when you get to a certain boost pressure or you're making a certain amount of power, the head studs can stretch and the head can lift before the head gasket itself actually starts to let go. Also, because we're running E85, there's much less of a chance of detonation. That's also way easier on the head gasket itself. So I feel like just doing the head studs instead of pulling everything off, doing a gasket and studs, for me in this particular scenario right now, is the way that I'm choosing to go. But yes, to answer your question, it would be smarter to just pull it off and do a head gasket. We're gonna get going on doing the head studs, and then we're gonna be putting those new GReddy cams in. So let's get back to it. We've got our ARP head studs installed. Everything went really well, no issues. Everything is torqued, triple checked the torque on all of them because I'm extremely anal when it comes to that sort of stuff. But yeah, it went really good. So the only thing left to do now is gonna be clean up the cams, clean up the cam journals and the cam caps, install some assembly lube, throw the cams in, and then we are gonna check our valve lash before we put the cam covers back on. Hopefully our valve lash is good. These are drop-in cams. They're not supposed to require any valve lash adjustment. However, it is good to always measure that with a feeler gauge and make sure that you are within the spec. So we're gonna be doing that as well. But before we get on with that, we're gonna take these cams out of the package because I have not had them out yet, and I'm sure they are gonna need to be cleaned. Yeah, so they've got some like anti-corrosion or anti-rust agent on them. So we'll get these out of the bags, get these cleaned up. GReddy cams installed, ARP head studs installed. Everything overall went really good. I wasn't able to start and run the car very long, just for a few seconds there. It still has the stock ECU in it right now, which doesn't cooperate very well with the upgraded cams. So I mainly just wanted to start it, run it for a few minutes, make sure everything sounded as good as it could. Obviously, stock ECU has trouble compensating for the cams, and the idle's a little erratic, so car probably won't sound like that. I'm sure it'll have a little bit of a lopey cam idle, but probably maybe not as aggressive as it sounded in that little clip there, but we'll see. I don't know. So yeah, so that's basically gonna wrap this up. Not too terrible of a job to do in the car. If you're, wanting to do this yourself on your RB, it's really no more difficult than doing cams on any other engine I've ever worked on. Very similar to doing cams on a 2JZ. So if you have any experience there, this will be a walk in the park for you. In the next video, we're gonna be moving on to installing the fuel system, which also includes all the flex fuel components for this to be run on flex fuel. So that's gonna be in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you're looking forward to the next video. And then the video after that is going to be really special, and I'm really excited about that video. So tune in for the next video. Subscribe if you're not already. Like this video if you like what I'm doing here, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.